So you're thinking about moving to East Downtown. In this video, we're going to talk about the cost of living in East Downtown. We're talking about various aspects of living here and the values and things like that. You stick around to the very end. We're going to share with you the best kept secret about East Downtown that you don't want to miss. We're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living life in Houston, Texas, the good and the bad, the pros and the cons, the yin and the yang, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about everything there is to know about living life in Houston, Texas. My name is Joseph Diasana and welcome to Living Life in Houston, Texas. My partner, Carrie Josephson, and our team of realtors get calls, messages every day from people just like you and you and you and you and you looking for help on living life in Houston, Texas, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're going to be here in 10 days or 100 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All the information is down in the description, and we will be glad to help make your move smooth to Houston, Texas. Let's talk about cost of living. One thing to really understand about Houston is that we travel around Houston through kind of a target radially. So downtown is the bullseye, just like a target, and you have multiple rings. The first ring is 610 or the Loop. The second ring is the Beltway. The third ring is Highway 6 or 1960. And the final ring is 99 or Grand Parkway. We always have two different names for every place. And that's how we move radially. In terms of jobs, most people want to live close to where they work, so their commute times are really low. 1/4 of all jobs are from downtown all the way to the West Corridor, which is roughly about a 10-mile distance, not very far, which means that lots of people come into town and then they'll leave if they want bigger space, but they'll be coming into town, which means that housing is a little bit higher. So obviously, your expense typically, you want to not be 45 to 50% of your cost for your income to take up in housing. You know, for rent, it can go anywhere from $1,500 a month for a studio apartment all the way up to $2,800 a month or more, depending upon how much you want to spend. A starter home here, average in Houston is $450 all over Houston. Take into account there. We can find some things that are older and 1970s, 1980s for about $300,000, and then it goes up to $600,000 plus for homes, depending upon if you want land, want to have a yard. In the city is high density, so then we start talking about, do we have a front loading driveway? You don't share a driveway, because there's a lot of homes that, you know, have that share a driveway, usually gated, not gated. So having a front loading driveway to the street is a premium. Having a little bit of yard is a premium. In terms of electricity, water, utilities, gas and trash services, electricity and water have gone up, especially water. I used to have not more than $80 a month, but now it's up above $100. Consumption's getting a lot higher. Electricity as well, so similar to that. Our utilities, electricity wise, in Texas is deregulated. It's the infrastructure that provides electricity to you, but the marketing people do that. I currently use Ambit because I can get my bill dropped down a bunch. So electricity, water, gas, trash and service, electricity and water are the highest. Our grocery bill is a little bit higher. Okay, according to several different sources, our food and household items are 5 to 10% more than the national average. Not sure why that is, but it is what it is. Transportation, about $100 to $400 per month. In terms of vehicle maintenance, we definitely are a driving city. There are pockets where we have high walkability, but high walkability is never anything like, let's say, New York City, where you really don't have a car and all you do is walk around. That's not Houston. You can live on a couple blocks that have a bunch of homes there, and then you could walk 2 or 3 blocks and you can be at a bar, restaurant. You could be at a place where you can hang out, work out, stuff like that. But it's not what I think is walkable. I grew up in New Jersey and in New York City area, a tri-state area, and walkability means, you know, you go out the door and you have like 4 things within the 2-block area. That's not Houston, but it's definitely more walkable than some other cities. So healthcare, of course, our healthcare is awesome. We have one of the world famous Texas Medical Center, and Texas Medical Center is about a mile and a half long, but it has more revenue than the gross domestic product of some countries. And we have multiple systems around this city. So there's Memorial Hermann, then there's St. Luke's is another one. Great in terms of healthcare. If you have a need for a specialist, you don't have to leave Houston. So that's super nice. And we're also 5 to 10% above the national average. So dining out, $15 to $60 a meal. I tend to be on the double that because I like to drink and I like to eat. Super foodie. Again, there's 1,800 restaurants in Houston. So if you and I were to go eat every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we would not repeat for like 4 years. So definitely something to really enjoy. You will gain weight. We used to be the fattest city, and I don't know what the criteria was at. Maybe it was restaurants per capita, but it was so funny. I was like, we were like that for 4 years in a row. And at that time, I was teaching kickboxing, and I used to run the marathon, and I also was competing in ballroom dance. So I was like, fat? What are you talking about, fat? Well, I had to retire from my marathon running because I had plantar fasciitis and hamstring tendonitis, and guess what? I had to give that up, so I gained a little bit of weight. And so fortunately, if you have a dog and you don't have a yard, you have to walk your dog. So at least 20 minutes of that, I'm definitely out there sweating and doing that. Entertainment, tons of concerts that come here. So obviously a lot of the A-list artists come here. We have several different venues. Usually the venues are going to be in one of the 2 stadiums, either Toyota, sometimes we do it in Reliant. Heading out to Sugarland, there's another stadium out there. And then even for more of the local or not so A-list artists, Warehouse Live. Warehouse Live is in East Edo. And one of my friends saw Adele before she was Adele. Like I think it was album 19. She named her albums by the year or the age. So super creative, or not really, but it worked. It worked for her, and he saw her there. And so there's a lot of people who made it really, really big. My claim to fame when I used to compete in ballroom dancing, and the year that I stopped doing that, surgery, recovery, whatever, the year after, Beyonce and her crew were dancing there, using theirs. So I missed her by a year. I couldn't know Beyonce. Anyways, lots of good stuff here. Outdoor concert venues up in the Woodlands. Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion is outdoors. Herman Park has an amphitheater there that's near the medical center and museum districts. It's super fun, super nice. We have the International Festival, Bayou Arts Festival, and then we have the different festivals for many cultures. The main ones I'm thinking about are the Greek, the Italian, and the Polish festivals. And so you get to see all of the different cultures come out. And so if you really want to be abreast of what's going on, definitely get on. There's 4 resources: Paper City, Culture Map, and Houstonia. Those are really the 3 big ones that we get our daily information from. You can go on Facebook or Instagram and kind of sign up there. It'll be really fun. So definitely do that. And then eater.com for Houston. There's something for everybody. You will not be for lack of activity, that's for sure. Daycare, babysitting services are anywhere between $800 to $1,400 a month. That's kind of just the general cost. Not really have a lot to talk about that because I don't have kids. Anyways, fitness and recreation, anywhere between $30 to $100 per month. You have Fit is one group that you can see. There's Lifetime. I tend to like to use the natural. I mean, we've got Memorial Park, which is about 15 minutes from East Downtown that you can go to. And Memorial Park is 3 times the size of Central Park in New York City, to give you a size comparison. And the trail was really soft on the knees. It's kind of like this light pea gravel / dirt trail, goes around, and you can go through the glades, which is kind of this manicured experience with a lake and a dock you can walk on. There's the land bridge, which they created so cars can go underneath it, but it connects two sides of the park together. So lots of things that you can do definitely outdoors. Then miscellaneous stuff, clothing, personal care, all those things definitely can cost a little bit more. There are lots of personal shopping that you can do, grooming, boutiques. There's a lot of eclectic shops super close by. You'll have to travel outside of Edo. One of the best kept secrets of Edo is actually not in Edo. It's just a little bit west of downtown, and it's the Buffalo Bayou area. So Buffalo Bayou is one of the 5 bayous that all collect all the water from Houston and goes out to the ocean. There is a boat tour that you can do. It's a pontoon, flat bottom pontoon deck, can fit about 20 people. Definitely take it because it's so weird to be up here, super busy city, right? And the way designers made Houston is like a lot of the freeways are acting like collection points, drainage for the rest of the city. So they build it below or lower. Everybody who lives higher. Well, once you take the pontoon, it like the whole city disappears. I know there's a city up there with roughly 4 million Houston, 7 million in the surrounding areas. But taking this pontoon boat, super fascinating, definitely fun. A lot of history. It crosses from the west side down the Buffalo Bayou through downtown and onto the other side. Definitely try to take it if you can. It's super fun. Or another idea is the downtown tunnel systems. Back in the 50s or 60s, the first AC building was a bank downtown. Then obviously they were like, oh my gosh, it's so hot here now that we have AC. How can we create a way for people to move through buildings downtown without having to step outside and getting drenched because it's super hot? So they built a collection of tunnels down below downtown, and those tunnels eventually had different gathering spaces where they put in restaurants and shopping. So during the week, it's super busy. Weekends obviously are closed, but it's at the bottom of most buildings, and there is a downtown tour. So check that out. You can take and learn about when it was built, when it was installed, and it's really actually fun to go down there because there's a couple of really great restaurants that have open spots there during the week because the week gets really, really busy. And there you have it. Cost of living in downtown. Until then, have a good day, sunshine, and we'll see you around the Bayou City.